Hi, my dear friends. Welcome back to the ninth standard social classes. Dear student, in this class, we are going to study the lesson Vijayanagara and Bahamani kingdoms. This is the fourth lesson which is prescribed for ninth standard social classes in history part. Dear student, in this class, we are going to deal with a new concept, that is Krishna Devaraya. Krishna Devaraya is one of the most famous rulers in Vijayanagara Empire who rules under Tuluva dynasty. Before going to know about Krishna Devaraya, let us glance once again what we had discussed in the last class in the same lesson. But dear student, in the last class, we came across few important aspects of the lesson, that is origin of Vijayanagara Empire, the capital city of Vijayanagara Empire, and the time when Vijayanagara Empire established, and the famous dynasties like Sangama, Salava, Tuluva and Aravidu dynasties. These four dynasties ruled Vijayanagara Empire, and the famous rulers who ruled under the dynasty of Sangama dynasty, and how they contributed to the various field called the field of the field of politics, economics, culture and trade. So these were the things we discussed in the last class. See, and also we came to know the most famous kings who ruled Vijayanagara Empire on Sangama dynasty, which are Pravada Devaraya, Harihara first, Harihara second. So these are the important rulers ruled Vijayanagara Empire. I hope that you understood the last class very well. And today, let us learn the new concept and the new ruler, that is Krishna Devaraya. Krishna Devaraya. Who is that? Krishna Devaraya. My dear pupil, Krishna Devaraya was the most famous king in Vijayanagara Empire who ruled from Tuluva dynasty. He was son of Narasanayaka. He was son of Narasanayaka. And from Tuluva dynasty. Which dynasty he was from? Tuluva dynasty. Was from Tuluva dynasty. And his second wife, Nagalambika, Krishnadevaraya was the most famous king among the rulers of Vijayanagara Empire. He was son of Narasanayaka and his second wife, Nagalambika. He was the most famous king in the entire Vijayanagara Empire. He had given ample scope and he ruled. He took the entire kingdom to the highest order. In his time, the Vijayanagara Empire reached the pinnacle of glory. My dear pupil, in his ruling, during the time of his ruling, the entire kingdom reached the pinnacle of the glory. So that what I am going to say means he took the entire kingdom to the optimum level during his reign. Comparable to world famous ruler like Samrat Ashoka and Samudragupta and Harshavardhana. So dear students, what I am going to say here, Krishna Devaraya, how famous he was, means we can compare this ruler to the world famous ruler from Indian kingdoms like Samudragupta, Samrat Ashoka and Harshavardhana. We can compare his characteristics to the various world famous rulers of the world, isn't it? So in that way he ruled up to he extended up to the Indian Ocean. He extended his kingdom up to Indian Ocean in the south, Bengal in the east, and Arabian Sea in the west. Totally, we can say that the complete South India was under the control of Krishna Devaraya. That is why we mentioned that under his rule, during the time of his rule, the Vijayanagara Empire reached the pinnacle of glory. Dear student, he ruled more than 20 years. How many years he ruled? Yes. How long did he rule? He ruled more than 20 years. More than 20 years. So during his 20 years of rule, how he contributed to the world. Let us see. When he came to the power, my dear pupil, when he came to the power, he had to face many problems. He was able to face the complicated internal and external problems. When he ascended the throne, he had to face internal and external problems of the kingdom. My dear pupil, internal problem are nothing but instability of the government and the differences in the way of thinking among the kings in Vijayanagara Empire and various internal wars. These were the internal problems he had to face when he came to the power. And what are the external powers? The external powers are nothing but the Europeans who had arrived through new sea routes. Dear student, while Krishna Devaraya was ruling Vijayanagara Empire, meanwhile Europeans were also about to enter into the various territories or to India. So while they were entering into the places, he had to face all the problems. So these were known as the external powers, and they wanted to establish their own colonies in India. These were the external powers. And the Mughals, on the other side, Mughals of the north were trying to expand their empire in the south. My dear student, meanwhile, when Vijayanagara Empire was ruled by Krishna Devaraya in the south, meanwhile in North India, Mughals were ruling. So that they wanted to extend their kingdom up to southern part of India. They always came in bragging on Vijayanagara Empire. So these were the problems that Krishna Devaraya had to face. Then, along with that, the 5 Shahi kingdoms of Bahmani, very important point, my dear pupil, 5 Shahi kingdom. 5 five Shahi kingdom from Bahmani kingdoms became powerful sultans and plunged into the war against Krishnadevaraya. My dear people, five Shahi kingdoms wanted to revolt against Krishnadevaraya. So these were the problems he had to face when he came to the power. In addition to that, the kings of Ummaturu and the kings of Orissa, kings of Ummaturu and the kings of Orissa were a constant source of treat. They were always giving trouble to Krishnadevaraya, and these kings of Ummaturu and Orissa, they did not tolerate the development of Vijayanagara Empire to the south. So hence they wanted to give trouble to Vijayanagara Empire. These were the problems that Krishnadevaraya had to face during his reign. My dear student, he checked all the problems and solved with his intellectual powers, and he guided all his military officers and his commanders as well as his assistants or chieftains. He guided all of them to rule the entire kingdom in well manner. Krishnadevaraya successfully solved all internal and external problems that he had faced, so that he instituted all the chieftains or his officers to run the administrative reforms in a well manner, and also he insisted all his officers to reach the policies and function to the lower classes in the society. So that is why Krishnadevaraya became very popular within a short time, and hence he was able to rule up to 20 years. He was able to rule up to 20 years. Then let us see how he ruled. Let us see how Vijayanagara Empire was ruled by Krishnadevaraya, and what were the important aspects and reforms that he was taken. That was taken during the time of Krishnadevaraya. The first attempt that he made, that is military achievements. Military achievements. How did he start the military achievements, and how did he use his military power to uplift his kingdom during his reign? Let us see. My dear people, Krishnadevaraya was not only a warrior, was not only a good administrator, but he was a skillful person, and he knew very well how to make administration throughout the kingdom. So that he started to think to change something in the military achievements. As mentioned by Robert Sewell, my dear student, Robert Sewell mentioned his administrative skill. That he says Krishnadevaraya was an unparalleled warrior, was an unparalleled or uncomparable warrior. Who mentioned like this? Robert Sewell mentions that Krishnadevaraya was a unparalleled or uncomparable warrior. Think about how he was very brilliant. And the shrewd commander was a shrewd commander, a strong commander and political experts. Was a political expert. He won all the wars and expanded his kingdom up to south. He won, since he was a skillful warrior, he was able to win all the wars and extended his kingdom up to southern part of India, up to south. By the time Krishnadevaraya ascended the throne, when he ascended the throne, the law and order situation of Vijayanagara Empire had worsened. See, the law and order was not in good condition when Krishnadevaraya came to the power. So that is what I mentioned earlier. This also comes in internal problems. When he ascended the throne, the entire kingdom was suffering from the proper law and order. The situation was very worse. It was not good condition. And then, why did it happen like that? Why the law and order of the empire was worsened? Because the internal problems, the internal rivalries, the internal rivalries made the situation very worst in the kingdom when Krishnadevaraya came to the power or came into the power. So in that time, he wanted to make some reformation in the military force. How he think? My dear pupil, the reign between 1510 to 1521, think about it. The reign between 1510 to 1521. This is the time of Krishnadevaraya when he ruled. 1510 to 1521. In this time are filled with longer sieges, war and victories. He seized many forts, many properties, and he won many wars and victories. He undertook 14 major wars. These wars were waged against Bahmani, Adil Shahi of Bijapur, Nizam Shahi of Ahmednagar, Qutub Shahi of Golconda, Gajapati of Orissa, and other chieftains. He wanted to see, he went under so many wars. More than 15 wars he had to face. And he war against the various kingdoms like Bahmanis, Adil Shahi of Bijapur, Nizam Shahi of Ahmednagar, Qutub Shahi of Golconda, Gajapatis of Orissa, and other chieftains he had to face, and he had to war against all these chieftains and all these small dynasties. So he wanted to merge all these territories with his kingdom. Along with that, in 1509, Yusuf Adil Shahi organized a combined attack of Adil Shahi dynasties on Vijayanagara. Think about, in 1509, Kabanera, Yusuf Adil Shahi organized a combined attack of Adil Shahi dynasties on Vijayanagara Empire. He took the help of Yusuf Adil Shahi, took the help of Adil Shahi dynasties and attacked on Vijayanagara Empire. Adil Shahi of Bijapur died in this attack. Adil Shahi of Bijapur died in this attack. During this time, Krishnadevaraya annexed the Doe of Reason of Raichuru. During this time, Krishnadevaraya annexed the Doe of Reason or places of Raichuru. Then Krishnadevaraya liberated Muhammad Shah. Krishnadevaraya liberated Muhammad Shah and made him the king of Bahmani kingdoms. He liberated Muhammad Shah and made him the king of Bahmani kingdoms. Hence, he got the title he got the name, he got the prize, or he was bestowed like Yavanaraja Pratishthapanacharya. Yavanaraja Pratishthapanacharya. How did he get this title? Yes, student, listen. Krishna Deva Raya liberated Muhammad Shah and made him the king of Bahmani kingdom. Hence, he got the title of Yavanaraja Pratishthapanacharya. Yavana Raja Pratisthapana. Pratishthapanacharya. Yavanaraja Pratishthapanacharya was the title bestowed by Krishna Deva Raya. Got it? Why? Because, yes, he liberated Muhammad Shah and made him the king of Bahmani kingdom. Hence, he got the title of Yavanaraja Pratishthapanacharya. These wars destroyed the power of Bahmani kings. These wars destroyed or lessened the power of Bahmani kings. Then he undertook a war on Gangaraya, the chieftain of Umaturu. He also took war on Gangaraya, the chieftain of Umaturu. This part was made part of Srirangapatna. Got it? This is very important in the chapter. And then, other than that, among the wars waged by Krishna Deva Raya, the war with Gajapati of Orissa is very important. This war took place from 1512 to 1518. This war took place. The war against Gajapati of Orissa took place in 1512. What is the time? 1512 AD. And this war recognized as very important event in Indian history. This war took place from 1512 to 1518. 15 up to 6 years. He captured Kondavedu, Vijayawada and Kondapalli. These three places were captured by him and merged to Vijayanagara Empire. These were part of Gajapati Rudra Pratapa Devaru's kingdoms in southern parts. Gajapati surrendered and got his daughter married to Krishna Deva Raya. Dear student, these were part of Gajapati Rudra Pratapa Devaru kingdoms in the south part. When Gajapati surrendered to Krishna Deva Raya and got his daughter married to Krishna Deva Raya. In this way, he got the relationship with these people. In 1520 CE, he captured, in the time of 1520 CE, he captured Raichuru from Adil Shahi of Bijapur. A tough battle took place between Vijayanagara and Bijapur for Raichuru. A tough war took place between Vijayanagara and Bijapur for the capture of Raichuru. The Portuguese supported Vijayanagara Empire. They stood at in this time when Vijayanagara Empire, when Krishna Deva Raya wanted to war against Bijapur, then he took the help of Portuguese. Portuguese came happily and helped Krishna Deva Raya to capture Raichuru from the clutches of Bijapur. Earlier, Krishna Deva Raya had helped Portuguese to capture Goa. And then during his reign, the Vijayanagara kingdom extended from river Godavari to Krishna. Godavari and Krishna in the north to Indian Ocean in the south, from Arabian Sea in the west to Bay of Bengal to east. So, in this way, in all the dimensions, in three dimensions, the Vijayanagara Empire extended during the time of Krishna Devaraya. Dear students, this is about the military achievements of Krishna Devaraya. The military achievements of Krishna Devaraya. Dear student, let us see the literary work of Krishna Devaraya. The second thing is literature. See, Krishna Devaraya, how he gave importance to the development of literature in his reign or in his time. Dear student, Krishna Devaraya was not only a skilled warrior but also a able administrator. His Telugu work, Amukta Maulyada, reveals the shrewdness he possessed in the matter of state. Dear student, Amukta Maulyada, it is a literary work written by Krishna Devaraya, reveals about the straightness of his administration and also how he had a great skill in the matter of administration. These were important points are incorporated in the literary work Amukta Maulyada or Amukta Maulyada, written by Krishna Devaraya. He provided irrigation facility. Dear student, it shows that he was also helping to the farmer, and he could call as farmer friendly ruler because he provided many facilities for the agriculture workers. That is why he provided irrigation facilities for the farmer to expansion of the agricultural activities. To the expansion of agricultural activities, he provided irrigation facility in the agriculture field. With the friendship of Portuguese, as we discussed earlier, he took the help of Portuguese while gaining Raichur from Bijapur, and also he also helped to Portuguese when capturing Goa. Got it? Likewise, Krishna Devaraya had a good relationship with the Portuguese. So that is why he increased the foreign trade. Portuguese had a great trade contact with Vijayanagara Empire. That is why he increased the foreign trade. He abolished many taxes. See, very important one is that is marriage tax. Marriage tax was abolished by Krishna Devaraya during his reign. And when we come to the literature, in the field of literature, how he contributed. He was a great patron of art, literature and religions. Dear student, he was not only a good administrator but also a kind-hearted fellow, and he was also called as religious tolerant. All religions in his kingdom were provided equal status in his kingdom. He was a great patron of art, literature and religious activities. There were 8 Telugu poets known as Ashtadiggajas. Ashtadiggajas. Dear student, there were 8. Ashta means 8. Diggajas were called as poets. 8 poets were called as Ashtadigajas were there in the court of Vijayanagara Empire, the court of especially Krishnadevaraya. Among them, Krishnadevaraya was a poet himself and wrote the play Jambavati Kalyana. Jambavati Kalyana. Jambavati Dear student, Krishnadevaraya was himself a good poet and he wrote the play, means drama, that is Jambavati Kalyana in Sanskrit language. And he provided a good patronage to the Ashtadigajas or 8 poets in his court. Krishnadevaraya himself was a good poet. He wrote a play Jambavati Kalyana in Sanskrit language. See, among these 8 Ashtadigajas, let us see which are those. Allasani Pedana, Nandi Timmana, Durjati, Tenali Ramakrishna, and others were the Telugu poets in the court. See, overall what we can say means Krishnadevaraya was a good patronage to provide a good shelter to the poets and literary workers. Hence, he flourished the literary field during his reign. Dear students, this is about the field of literature, how he flourished during his reign. Now, the field of architecture. The field of architecture. The field of architecture. How he gave ample scope to the development of architecture during his time. My dear student, you might have visited so many times to Hampi, the capital city of Vijayanagara Empire. See, if you visit there, you will feel overwhelmed happiness by seeing the outer surface of the temples, of the monuments, of the any kind of works which are there in the Hampi. Dear student, when we go to Hampi, we will feel very happy about the architectural designs of the temples. See, these are the provided by Vijayanagara Empire, and even today a number of foreign visitors are visiting even today. See, it shows that how Vijayanagara Empire was reached the pinnacle of glory during time of Vijayanagara. Krishnadevaraya constructed many temples in Hampi and so many places which come under in Vijayanagara Empire. He constructed many temples like Krishna temple at Hampi. Along with that, many of the temples he erected Maharangamantapa in Virupaksha temple at Hampi, and also many other temples were constructed by Krishnadevaraya. Maharangamantapa was also constructed by Krishnadevaraya. So these were the very important aspects that Krishnadevaraya had given ample scope to the development of military achievements and literature, the field of literature, as well as architectural field. So thus he contributed his own contribution to the development of his kingdom. Dear student, in this way, Krishnadevaraya was not only a good administrator, was not only a good military officer, was not only a good ruler, but also a able warrior. Along with that, he was also a poet. He wrote many literary works. One important play, that is, what is that? Jambavati Kalyana. It was created by himself. Got it? In Sanskrit. Now, till now we have discussed about the important rulers or warriors of Vijayanagara Empire. Now let us discuss about the fall of Vijayanagara Empire. The fall of Vijayanagara Empire. Dear pupil, now let us see the fall of Vijayanagara Empire. See, my dear students, a proverb says, where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is unity, there will be fine things. But where there is no unity, there will be failure. Got it? Likewise here, the fall of Vijayanagara Empire is also on the basis of the same situation, same problem. Here, after the Krishnadevaraya, Achyutaraya and Sadashivaraya came to the throne. After the time of Krishnadevaraya, after Krishnadevaraya ruled the kingdom, Sadashivaraya and Achyutaraya came to the power. Krishnadevaraya's son-in-law, Ramaraya of the Aravida dynasty, handled the administration in an able manner, in a well manner. Krishnadevaraya's son-in-law, Ramaraya, handled the entire kingdom in a well manner. Although son-in-law Ramaraya had improved the prestige of the kingdom by waging many wars during his 23 years of his reign, many foes or enemies had sprung up against Vijayanagara, counteracting to the frequent attacks by the Deccan Shahi Sultans. Dear student, who are the Deccan Shahi Sultans? Here are Deccan Shahi Sultans. First one, Nizam Shahi, then Adil Shahi, and then Imam Shahi, Baris Shahi, and Qutub Shahi. These are the 5 Shahi kingdoms who caused to decline Vijayanagara Empire. Counteracting to the frequent attacks by the Deccan Shahi Sultans against Vijayanagara Empire, Ramaraya had occupied Vijayanagara and Golgota forts. Vijayapura and Golconda forts were occupied by son-in-law Ramaraya. But what had happened? When Ramaraya occupied Vijayapura and Golconda and merged to Vijayanagara Empire, but this development of Vijayanagara Empire by Ramaraya stimulated the sultans of Shahi kingdoms. The sultans of Shahi kingdom, especially from Bijapur, to wage war against Ramaraya. See what happens? These Deccan Shahi kingdoms did not tolerate the development of Vijayanagara Empire under the reign of son-in-law Ramaraya. So they wanted to war against Vijayanagara Empire. The Deccan Shahi Sultans, who were envious of progress and prosperity of the Vijayanagara Empire, these Deccan Shahi Sultans did not bear the development of Vijayanagara Empire, the progress and prosperity of Vijayanagara Empire, they forgot. Who forgot? These Shahi kingdoms, Shahi dynasties forgot their political differences was forgotten by these Shahi kingdoms, and they joined unitedly in the name of their religion. Or the name of their religion, all these 5 Shahi kingdoms united or joined together and start to war against Vijayanagara Empire, especially on Ramaraya. In 1565, my dear people, very important year in history, 1565 CE. In 1565 CE, all these five Shahi kingdoms, united army of the kingdom, mounted on attack on Vijayanagara. Ramaraya's army was defeated in this battle, and Ramaraya was died in this battle. This battle is recognized as Rakasa Tangadi War in Indian history. It was took place in the 1565 Common Era between Shahi kingdoms and Ramaraya. Unfortunately, Ramaraya died in this war. The victorious army of Deccan Sultan plundered the glorious beauty of the kingdom, the treasure of the kingdom, the wealth and jewels and gold and silver of the entire kingdom, plundered by Shahi dynasties or Deccan Sultans of Vijayanagara. As a result of this war, now our Hampi, the capital city of Vijayanagara Empire, became a ruin, and it was destructed, it was declined, it was disturbed by all these Deccan Sultans. In this way, our Hampi is ruined Hampi. So this is the fall of Vijayanagara Empire. Later, the Aravidu dynasty ruled from Penukonda, Chandragiri, and finally Vellore till 1646 time. 1646 AD. Till 1646 AD. 1646 Common Era till the other dynasties or Aravidu dynasty ruled. Then the chieftains of Mysuru, Keladi and Chitradurga in Karnataka became independent. They became free in that time. So the war of Rakasa Tangadi in the time 1565 resulted in many changes in Indian history, especially in Karnataka. So this is the fall of Vijayanagara Empire. My dear people, let us see the administrative system of Vijayanagara Empire, how it was. Administrative system. I hope that they should now let us come to the conclusion. We will stop today. The remaining things will be discussed in the next class. Got it? Until then, take down the homework. First question is, write the achievements of Krishna Devaraya. Write the achievements of Krishna Devaraya. This is as your question, as your homework, and do it well. Study well, and we will meet with the next concept, that is administrative system of Vijayanagara Empire, in the next class. Until then, take care and have a nice day. Thank you.